8-year-old Emma Wilson was visiting her grandmother's apartment building when a massive earthquake struck downtown Seattle, causing the 60-year-old structure to partially collapse and trapping Emma beneath tons of concrete and steel in a pocket of space barely large enough for her small body. Emergency crews worked frantically to locate survivors in the rubble, but conventional search methods faced impossible challenges as unstable debris made human access too dangerous and electronic equipment couldn't penetrate the maze of collapsed floors and twisted metal. Emma's family waited in agonizing terror as hours turned into days, while rescue teams struggled to find any trace of survivors in the devastated building where dozens of people remained missing. But Hero, a border collie with urban search and rescue certification, possessed the specialized training and determination needed to navigate through dangerous debris fields where human searchers couldn't safely operate. For 72 hours, Hero systematically worked through the collapsed structure using scent detection abilities that could locate living victims buried beneath multiple layers of concrete, refusing to give up even when other rescue efforts had been suspended due to safety concerns that made continued search operations too risky for human teams. Welcome to Saved by Tales. Before we dive into this intense story of specialized training meeting natural disaster and a search dog's refusal to accept that anyone was beyond rescue when there might still be life buried beneath the rubble, join our community of animal hero enthusiasts who understand that some miracles require the kind of persistence that never stops believing in the possibility of finding survivors against impossible odds. The 7.2 magnitude earthquake that struck Seattle at 3:47 p.m. on a Tuesday afternoon was the most devastating natural disaster the city had experienced in decades, causing widespread building collapses and infrastructure damage that overwhelmed emergency response capabilities throughout the metropolitan area. 8-year-old Emma Wilson had been visiting her grandmother Margaret Wilson in the Hillcrest Apartments, a 1960s-era building that met older construction standards but lacked the seismic reinforcement required for modern earthquake safety codes. Emma loves spending afternoons with Grandma Margaret, her mother Jennifer Wilson often explained. They have tea parties and read books together. It's their special time every Tuesday after school. Hero, a 4-year-old border collie with the Washington State Urban Search and Rescue Team, had been trained specifically for building collapse operations where victims might be buried beneath debris for extended periods requiring sustained search efforts. Hero is exceptional at detecting life signs in collapsed structures, explained his handler, search specialist Mike Rodriguez. His size allows him to access areas where human searchers can't safely operate, and his scent detection abilities can locate survivors buried under multiple layers of debris. The earthquake's impact on Hillcrest Apartments was catastrophic, with the building's outdated construction unable to withstand the seismic forces that caused partial collapse of 3 floors and trapping an unknown number of residents beneath tons of concrete and twisted steel. Emma had been in her grandmother's 4th-floor apartment when the shaking began, but the collapse pattern made it impossible for initial rescue teams to determine exactly where victims might be located within the debris field. "We have multiple people unaccounted for in the Hillcrest collapse," reported Fire Captain Sarah Chen, as emergency teams began assessment of the dangerous rescue operation. "The structure is highly unstable, and human access is extremely limited. Traditional search methods, including listening devices and thermal imaging, were ineffective due to the density of debris and electronic interference created by the building's electrical systems that remained partially active despite the collapse." Hero's deployment to Hillcrest Apartments came after human search teams had worked for 24 hours without locating any survivors, facing safety protocols that prevented deeper penetration into the unstable debris field. Hero's approach to the collapsed building was methodical and professional, using specialized training that prepared urban search dogs for operations in dangerous environments where conventional rescue methods faced insurmountable obstacles. The border collie's compact size and agility allowed him to navigate through spaces between concrete slabs and steel beams that were inaccessible to human rescuers, while his scent detection abilities could identify life signs that electronic equipment couldn't detect. Heroes showing interest in the northeast section, Mike Rodriguez reported as the dog began systematic coverage of the debris field. "He's detecting something that's drawing his attention to that area." The search pattern required Hero to work in short intervals due to safety concerns about additional collapse, but his focus and determination never wavered despite the challenging and dangerous conditions. Emma's survival in the collapsed building depended on finding an air pocket that provided breathable atmosphere and protection from shifting debris that could crush anyone trapped in unstable areas. After 36 hours of systematic searching, Hero's behavior changed dramatically when he reached a section of debris where his scent detection indicated the presence of a living victim beneath multiple layers of collapsed concrete. "Hero's got something strong," Mike radioed to rescue coordinators. "He's showing definite life detection in grid section 7. This isn't just interest, this is a positive hit for a living person." The Border Collie's alert behavior included specific signals that his training had developed to communicate the difference between detecting deceased victims and finding survivors who required immediate rescue intervention. "We need to get extraction equipment to Hero's location," Mike continued. "He's indicating a live victim approximately 15 feet beneath surface debris. Access is going to be extremely challenging." Hero's detection provided the first confirmation that survivors might still be alive in the collapsed building, giving rescue teams the motivation needed to continue dangerous operations that had been suspended due to safety concerns. The location where Hero detected life signs required careful engineering analysis before rescue teams could safely attempt to reach the victim without causing additional collapse that could be fatal for anyone trapped below. "Heroes led us to a victim in one of the most dangerous sections of the collapse," reported structural engineer Dr. Lisa Martinez. "We need specialized equipment and extreme caution to avoid triggering further debris shifts." The extraction operation required removing debris piece by piece while maintaining structural stability, a process that could take many hours even with heavy equipment and expert coordination. Hero remained at the detection site throughout the planning phase, providing continued confirmation that a living victim was present and helping guide the precise location for rescue efforts. Hero's behavior indicates the victim is approximately 12 feet down and slightly to the east of his current position, Mike interpreted. "He's giving us the exact coordinates we need for safe extraction planning." After 60 hours of careful excavation guided by Hero's detection work, rescue teams created a small access shaft that allowed for voice contact with the trapped victim, who was confirmed to be Emma Wilson, conscious and responsive despite her extended burial beneath the collapsed building. Emma Wilson," called rescue worker Jennifer Walsh through the narrow shaft. "Can you hear me? We're here to get you out." "I'm here. I'm scared," came the weak but unmistakable voice of 8-year-old Emma, providing the first direct confirmation that Hero's detection had been accurate and that the dangerous extraction operation was justified. Hero's tail began wagging for the first time since the search began, seeming to understand that his work had successfully located the victim and that rescue was now possible. "Good boy, Hero," Emma called when she was told about the dog who had found her. "Thank you for finding me. I knew someone would come." Emma's extraction from the collapsed building required 12 more hours of careful work to widen the access shaft and ensure safe passage for a victim who had been trapped for over 72 hours without food or water. "Emma's condition is remarkably good considering her circumstances," reported paramedic Robert Kim as medical teams prepared for her emergence from the debris. She found an air pocket that provided protection and adequate oxygen for survival. The rescue operation attracted national media attention as Emma became the symbol of hope for earthquake survival and the remarkable capabilities of search dogs whose specialized training could locate survivors when conventional methods failed. Hero remained present throughout Emma's extraction, providing emotional support for a frightened child who had spent 3 days alone in darkness waiting for rescue that seemed impossible. "Hero, you found me," Emma said when she finally emerged from the collapsed building and saw the Border Collie who had refused to give up searching until he located her beneath the tons of debris. Emma's reunion with her family was emotional and overwhelming, with Jennifer Wilson expressing profound gratitude to Hero and the rescue teams who had worked tirelessly to find her daughter when hope seemed lost. "Hero saved Emma's life," Jennifer said through tears. "That dog searched for 3 days and never gave up until he found her. He's our angel." Emma's medical evaluation revealed dehydration and minor injuries from debris, but her overall condition was excellent considering her 72-hour ordeal in the collapsed building. "Emma's survival is remarkable," observed emergency physician Dr. Amanda Foster. Hero's detection and the rescue team's persistence created a miracle when conventional wisdom said no survivors could be found after so much time. Hero's successful search became a landmark case for urban search and rescue operations, demonstrating how specialized dog training could achieve results that human searchers and technology couldn't accomplish in collapsed building environments. Hero's detection capabilities and persistence represent the highest level of search dog performance, explained search and rescue coordinator Dr. Sarah Walsh. His work saved a life when conventional methods had reached their limits. The rescue was featured in emergency response training programs and search dog development curricula throughout the country, highlighting the critical role that canine specialists played in disaster response operations. Years later, Emma remained grateful to Hero and often spoke about earthquake preparedness and the importance of never giving up hope during disasters. Hero had proven that some rescues required the kind of specialized training and determination that could find life where others saw only devastation. The search also led to improved building safety standards and enhanced urban search and rescue capabilities that incorporated lessons learned from Hero's successful detection work in one of the most challenging rescue environments possible. "I still think about that Seattle earthquake, when an 8-year-old girl disappeared beneath tons of concrete and steel, while rescue teams faced impossible odds and safety protocols that made continued searching too dangerous for human teams, and a Border Collie refused to accept that anyone was beyond rescue while there might still be life buried in the darkness." If Hero had given up when conventional methods failed, if he'd lacked the specialized training to navigate through deadly debris fields, if he'd been anything less than a professional who understood that 72 hours wasn't too long to keep searching when a child's life hung in the balance, Emma Wilson would have died alone beneath the rubble while hope faded and rescue operations moved to other locations. Hero's story teaches us something profound about the marriage of specialized training and unwavering determination that creates our most capable disaster response professionals, proving that some miracles require not just excellent noses but hearts that refuse to accept that anyone is truly lost while there's still a chance they might be found.